Hey guys, Surgeon here, and welcome to a new video. In this video, we're going to talk about kind of an off-the-beaten-path runecrafting method. Hope you guys do enjoy this video. It's my first one back after a little while, so hopefully you guys do find it enjoyable. Remember, if you do enjoy it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content from the channel, go ahead and subscribe. If you want to leave me any feedback on the video, comment section is for that. And links to all my social media will be down in the description below, including a link to the Discord channel. So, without further ado, let's get into this. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. So what we're going to be talking about today is mud rune crafting. Now, the requirements for this method, the bare minimum requirements is that you need 13 rune crafting. And honestly, that's it. You need 13 rune crafting, a binding necklace, and honestly, that's it. However, to make this more efficient and the way that I'm doing the video, there's a few more requirements you need. One, you need lunar diplomacy completed, which is a huge requirement. I understand that is a big quest chain. You also need to have the enlightened journey completed, and you need to have 82 magic. So, 3 pretty hefty requirements, but you only need 13 rune crafting. And I know there's a lot of you out there who can't stand the skill and probably have it at like level 2. So, that's why I'm saying that this method could be viable, because there's probably a lot of people who don't have a very high rune crafting level. But besides the point, what are we going to need for this method? Again, those are the requirements you're going to need. What kind of gear do you need? Honestly, it doesn't really matter as long as you have 3 things. You have an earth talisman, some way of getting into the earth altar, so an earth tiara obviously is preferred, a binding necklace, and a ring of dueling. Those are really the 3 things that you need. Everything else is just extra and makes it a lot easier. So my recommended setup is that you have a mist battle staff and that you have a tome of fire. Reason for that, Mist Battle Staff is going to give you infinite air and water runes, and then Tome of Fire with 1 torn page in it is going to give you infinite fire runes. So now you have all the runes that you need besides earth runes, and for this method you don't even need earth runes. Then basically the rest of the gear is just whatever you can to make sure your total weight is below 0 kilograms or 0 kilograms. Once you hit 0, it doesn't really matter from that point. There's no extra benefit to being below 0, which is why I have my farming cape on. Now, if I was able to use my full graceful, I'd obviously do that to lower the amount of run drain I would get. But since I have to wear the tiara, then you can kind of fashion scape with whatever you have left. Your inventory is going to look a little something like this. If you're 75 rune crafting, then you want the giant, the large, and the small pouch. You don't want the medium, and the reason for that is because you only want to have enough pouches to hold 22 essence. Whenever you do a combination rune and you have a binding necklace on, whenever you craft runes at an altar, it's going to use up a binding charge, whether that's a full inventory or whether that's 1 rune. So you don't want to be doing a bind of 6 runes because that's wasting a charge. You only want to be filling up your inventory with those extra pouches. So that's why you only use the giant, the large, and the small. If you're below 75 rune crafting, it doesn't matter. Take all your pouches. You're not going to have 22 essence. You also want to have your water runes. Whenever you go to craft a combination rune, the method is that you go to the altar of one type of that rune and you use the rune that you're not at the altar for. So like, for example, we're going to craft mud runes. So that's made up of earth and water. I'm going to the earth altar and I'm using water runes. Like when you do lavas, you go to the fire altar and you use earth runes. So you need to have water runes in order to bind them. You also need to have willow logs, and that's for the hot air balloon transport that I mentioned in the beginning. You need to have the Varrock balloon transportation method unlocked, and it costs 1 willow log in order to transport on that. You also have a rune pouch in there, and in my rune pouch, the only 2 relevant runes are that you have astral runes and you have cosmic runes. Now, you need the astral runes for both NPC contact and for magic imbue. The cosmic runes are specifically for NPC contact. Now, if you're not using a Mist Battle Staff, you can't get one for whatever reason, then put the remaining elemental rune that you don't have access to in your rune pouch. I can use both of them, so it doesn't really matter to me. But if you don't have that ability, go ahead and do that. Other than that, the rest of your inventory is going to be filled up with pure essence. And once you're all set, we're good to go. And let me show you guys some tips and tricks. Then we'll go on a sample run, and then I'll show you 1 hour of me doing this. All right, tip number 1 for you guys. Put on your bank fillers. This is so helpful when it comes to banking. As you see, I just finished a run. So I have all my stuff in my inventory, but I want to get rid of these mud runes. So I have all these bank fillers on, and I don't have any placeholders for anything else. So the only thing that's going to deposit are my mud runes. So I click deposit all. Cool. There we go. I don't have to right click and say deposit all my mud runes. I can just click deposit all, left click, 1 click, done. The other tip that I have is that when you go to repair your pouch, as you see, my giant pouch just broke. what you'll do is you'll just right click, and then if you've already contacted the Dark Mage through NPC contact, just click, you can right click and it'll say whoever the last person you contacted was, and it'll bring up the Dark Mage. Now there's another tip about this. If you have the Abyss book that you get from talking to the Dark Mage when you do that mini game, if you don't have the book, you can go into your player own house, go to the bookcase and grab the book. You used to have to, I'm not sure if you still do or not, if you have to actually have the book in your inventory or in your bank. But if you have that, it's actually going to cut out a couple dialogue boxes, so you can just, in 3 dialogue boxes, it's done and you can keep going. So that's another tip that I have. The other tip that I have is how your camera's angled. If you see, my camera right now is angled so it's facing east. One of the people in my CC pointed this out to me. If you point it to the east, when I come over here to the Fly Assistant and I use his menu, so I'm going to click on him and click up, open up the menu. When I click on Varrock, if I drag my mouse down... I'll be right back. Oh, you believe this guy's making a fucking guide about this? Motherfucker can't even remember to bring a stupid willow log to show him to the guide. Okay, back to where we were. So, you open up this menu, yeah? You have your willow log in your inventory. Make sure you have this in your inventory. Click on Varrock. Now, when you click on Varrock, if you drag your mouse to the southeast, just like slightly, ever so slightly, you're going to hover over it. You can actually kind of manipulate it, but you hover over the mysterious ruins, so you can literally just click the mysterious ruins as soon as you exit the screen. One other thing that I have for this is that when you are about to enter the mysterious ruins, I'm going to click on the mysterious ruins. Just before you enter it, go ahead and magic imbue. So that way when you enter, you don't have to magic imbue while you're in here. You can just run up, use your runes on it, empty everything, and there you go. Now, I don't have a binding necklace on because, you know, I'm stupid and I'm just doing this for tips and tricks and stuff. But when you come back to the bank, the last tip that I have for you guys comes in terms of banking. So, this I found while doing it for an hour. You only want to withdraw one thing that's not essence per bank. Okay, that sounds really stupid, but what do I mean by that? So, like, I need a binding necklace, right? And I need willow logs. Only take out the binding necklace, take out your essence, fill up your pouches, and put on your binding necklace. Then use your willow logs and your essence. The reason for that is that if you don't do it that way, what's going to end up happening is you're not going to have enough essence in your pouches, and you're not going to get 44 mud runes per bind, or per run, basically. And you want to try to maximize the amount of times that you're getting 44 mud runes per run. All right, listening back to this, I actually did a trash job of explaining this, so I'm going to try it again. So when you go to bank, the normal banking process is that you take a willow log and then grab your essence, fill up your pouches, bank, grab your essence, run to the balloon, right? Right. Good talk. Now, let's say you need a binding necklace and you need to fill up your essence. Cool. The first inventory, take your binding necklace, equip it, fill up your pouches, bank, grab your willow logs, grab your pure essence, and run. Now, let's say you need a stamina potion and you need a binding necklace. You need to do a good job of figuring out when you're going to need a stamina potion in advance so you don't get lost in a situation where you have to grab 2 things out at the same time. Ideally, you only need about 15 energy to do a run. So if you have 20 energy, you can sacrifice one run, get really low on energy, and then grab a stamina potion the next time. Only grab one thing at a time while you're grabbing essence is what I'm trying to say. Alright, so let's go over the results of doing mud runecrafting for an hour. So I gained 33,000 experience, roughly, in an hour. Now, if you go back and watch the sped up footage, I did misclick a lot, and I stopped to type to people. I wasn't fully efficient. I missed ticks. I had to run back to... I'm a human. I made mistakes. Still made 33k experience in an hour. Now, you may be saying, Surgeon, I can go to Blood Runes and make like 37k an hour, or 40k an hour from using the Abyss, or like, I can go Soul Runes and make 45k an hour, and that's AFK. Why would I do this? Honestly, you make about like, 950k in an hour. So like, that's really the upside to this, is that you get 33k experience, so you get about the same amount as you would doing Blood Runes, about a little less, and you make a mil in an hour, which is, that's pretty good. It's decent. Now you may be wondering what supplies it took me to actually get there, and the supplies, when you take the supplies into account, you basically take out that 70k, so it ends up being about 900k an hour. Yeah, it's a good method, especially for the fact that this does not require a very high runecrafting level at all. Now, it does require a high magic level because you need 82 magic for magic imbue, but for only requiring like 13 runecrafting, like this is comparable to some of the best XP rates in the game. Like, you compare it to that of lava runes, where, when I was doing lava runes, I was getting like 60k experience an hour, and I'm, trash, but I wasn't making any money. This, I'm making, 20k less an hour on average. I wasn't really focusing at all. That's when I was focusing, I made 60k experience an hour, and I'm making almost $1 million in an hour. Like, do I sacrifice 20k an hour to make $1 million an hour? That's really the kind of weight that you're going to have to pull on yourself. I can't make that decision for you. I can just present the information to you and say, here you go, do what you want with it. So I personally rate this method, if I was like a lower runecrafting level, I would consider this method to be like a solid 8 out of 10. Like, the only thing that would make it better is if obviously the XP rate was a little bit higher. It's not too click intensive. You get into a rhythm, you figure it out. But as a higher level runecrafter, honestly, I'd rather go do double nats, or I'd rather go do soul runes than do this. This is good. 1 mil an hour is great, but still, double nats, double astrials are good, better for money, and, soul runes are just AFK. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy this different type of video. I've never really done one of these before, so any kind of feedback that you guys would like to see in future videos like this, if you would like to see future videos of this type, please let me know in the comment section below. If you did enjoy it, remember to give it a like. If you didn't like it, dislike it. I mean, everyone knows that. And if you want to see more content from the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Links to all the social medias in the description, like Discord, Twitter, that I never use. Twitch probably in there, and I think that's it. So that's all going to be in the description below. Remember to join the CC. It's my name, so if you want to hang out in there, we constantly have like 50 people in there, so hang out. That's it for me, though. So, it's like, what, 12:40 in the morning? So you have a great day, or morning, or night, or whenever you're watching this. Thank you guys very much for watching.